Thank you all for coming. We're very excited about Media Day for year 2. There's a couple things that I wanted to open with and share before we open up for questions and have our ladies talk. We've got Caitlin, Boki, and Macy here to answer some questions. I think everybody's going to ask me, so I'm going to just say it. I think there's some very valuable lessons from last season, and reflecting back over last summer, which was a good summer, I think the 3 most important things that happened last year was that myself and my staff got a chance to learn Youngstown, learn the campus, learn the system, learn the Horizon League, know what to expect from our opponents, as well as our immediate support staff. We have some fine folks that help our program out on a daily basis. John Vogel in media, John Patrick, our strength coach, Marilyn Abruba in academics, and of course Jeff Wills, our athletic trainer. He's pretty busy these days. So it was great to really learn everything that we need to do to be able to do our job to the best of our ability. The second thing is our 5 returners. I'm very, very proud of those 5 ladies. Rachel, Caitlin, Macy, Michaela, and Kenya have done a great job of learning from last year, knowing me, knowing the system, and then teaching that to our newcomers, which leads us to the third most important thing, which is recruiting. And I've got to give a lot of credit to Bernard Scott, my recruiting coordinator. We signed 7 ladies that are all here this year. We're excited about the new faces, and we're happy to get this thing started on year 2. So would anybody have any questions for me?
What's your expectations going to be?
Expectations is to improve every day. Hard work, effort, to be gritty, to be feisty, push the tempo, play in a style that we were a little bit limited to last year. I think right now my expectations also, I need to be a little realistic to our situation. We've had some injuries since school started. I said this a year ago, and I'll say it again, injuries are not an excuse, but it is a reality right now. We've got 6 girls out of 12 practicing, and it's an interesting situation. So we are working our best to get the most out of those 6. I'm going to tell you those 6 are strong, they're tough, they're in great condition. Our basketball IQ is getting better every single day, and so taking the reality of it, and then how do we get to our goal, which is to finish in the top 6 going into the tournament. That would be our number 1 goal on the basketball court.
What were your weaknesses last year, and how did you correct those, or how did you work to hopefully correct those?
Yeah, well, I'd like to focus with 7 new ladies and only 5 returners a little more on this year, and not reflect on last year as far as weaknesses go. I think I hit all those at the opening statements as far as what we learned from last year. And I think right now the strengths this year is having 5 ladies that have been in my system, that have seen the Horizon League, know how we do scattering reports, know how we do team travel. You don't think about it until you really reflect, and I'm glad I had the summer to reflect on it and talk with a lot of other coaches that have rebuilt, and spent their time and hard work rebuilding other programs. It doesn't happen overnight. I have to keep reminding myself of that. I'm a perfectionist. I want to be perfect right now today, and I tell the ladies that. My goal is to push you to there and get you to the point of reaching perfection, but we're not going to be perfect, so getting better every single day is what we're focusing on right now here in the program.
With so many new faces, do you anticipate maybe more learning, more development, because you've got to get everybody on the same page, playing together on the same page there?
I've noticed that. Last year we had 6 seniors. I think their basketball IQ naturally, of course, being in college, they knew if I said set an all-ball screen on the wing, they knew exactly what I meant, when to do it, and the timing. This year there was a lot of teaching going on for that. But once again, I go back to the 5 returners, because you have 2 or 3 on the floor with those other 2 or 3. It's amazing how smooth that's still going, so I think we're learning quicker. We've only had 2 days of practice. We practiced Saturday and Sunday, and we took Monday as an off day. We did film and we did weights. We're going to have to really monitor how much we practice here early on to try and get some more numbers back out on the court. So, you'd think we would have skipped a beat with that, but we really haven't. I think in some ways it's even better, because those 5 do know what I want, and the timing, and they're talking and communicating and leading, and they're doing a very, very good job.
Are the injuries the type that you would expect to be able to, for the most part, clear up during the preseason before you have to play?
Yeah, that's a good question. Right now, I'd have to say there's 4 that I'm just not sure about. 2 might be out for the season, which would be very unfortunate when you only have 12. I know you guys are going to ask about Tiara. We are a little bit in limbo with her transfer status right now. We're still doing some last steps, she is, with her junior college to find out if she did meet her transfer requirements. So that could be one more that we would be down if that's the case. And that would take us right to 9, which is what we're hoping to have come January.
How confident are you that this team can be a little bit more competitive in the league than it was last year? And I know you were disappointed, but how confident are you that it can be more competitive?
You know, what I was really happy with last year is the improvements and strides we make. I talked at Curbstone Coaches last week with Rachel and Coach Scott, and we talked about going from Bowling Green at their place, losing by 40, and honestly were pretty much defeated and didn't play Youngstown State basketball, to having them at our home court and being down by 6 at halftime. You know, I think we made strides, but we didn't get the win, you know, in the win-loss column. This year, we're trying to get more wins. You know, we know that all the games, you know, just being realistic and honest as I always am, they're all going to come down to the wire. You know, it's going to be 1 or 2 points, hopefully, one way or the other, and that if we can condition and be in tune with each other. You know, I shared a story with the girls just last week at Notre Dame when I was at West Virginia. They ended up winning the national title one year with just 7 girls on the roster. It was amazing how much their chemistry, their timing, their cohesiveness, because they all had to play so many big minutes. So I'm trying to look at that as a positive. You know, is the glass half empty or half full? And we're saying it's half full, and you know, we're going to at least take our short numbers and get the most out of them as we possibly can. We're going to expect some big minutes in some of our ladies.
How tough is the league going to be?
The league, I think the league is going to be very difficult. I think that the Horizon League is one of the most underrated or overlooked women's basketball leagues in the country. I think it's extremely strong, and you know, I wouldn't expect for them to pick us more than 9th or 10th in the preseason. And personally, I like being the underdog. I think we'll be the underdog all year. Something else I'm really excited about the league is Caitlin March and Rachel Manuel, our 2 seniors. I think they're going to have their best basketball year ever in their careers. They're playing very well right now. Their confidence is there. You know, they're scoring, they're defending better. They know the system, and I'm really expecting some big plays from those 2, and that's exciting to see. You know, because I felt that's the one thing I wanted to do personally more last year, is see those 6 seniors off with a good career ending note, and I'm not sure we did that except for a few of them health-wise, you know, and I'm excited that I can sit here and say I feel like these 2 seniors are going to have the best year of their career.
Scoring, huge problem last year most of the time. How do you feel about the offensive potential of this team?
You know, it's totally different, Jim, than last year. Last year we had 2 major players in Nikita and Tierra Scott that we depended on to do most of our scoring and rebounding. And this year, you know, I'm actually excited to see. I'm curious to see who's going to be our best scorer, Jim. I think that, you know, one day it's Kenya Middlebrooks. You know, the next second it's Boki's hitting a big shot. Then Macy's hitting her jumper. You know, Rachel's been making some good moves. Brandy Brown, a freshman for us, is going to do some good things inside and with rebounding. And what we're trying to hang our hats on, Jim, is how do we put ourselves in position for the last 4 to 2 minutes of the game to be close, so we have a chance to win that game at the end by execution and just pure grit and determination, that we're mentally tougher, hopefully, than that other team. We have worked on those special situations more than that other team, and that we can pull it off, you know, have a chance to win the game. And I'm excited to see teams match up with us, because I really think it's going to be a different young lady every night, you know, or a different one in this 4 minutes, and then this 4 minutes, you know, here goes Michaela and she just gets a few on the breakaway, or, you know, here comes Macy and now here comes Brandy, and, you know, as we work some of the injured girls back into the lineup. So we're excited about the diversity. To speak on it a little bit further, I think Kenya and Macy, with their experience last year, really are scoring extremely well right now in practice. So it's very good to see. Kenya's jumper is looking really good, and you know, they got a lot of experience, and it's nice to see that right now.